Imagine waking up tomorrow, and the sun is still in the sky, but it's no longer the sun. No warning, no explosion, no countdown. In just 8 minutes, everything that keeps Earth alive begins to fail. Not because of heat, but because the most extreme objects in the universe have taken its place. Some would erase life instantly, others would freeze the planet into silence. And one of them might surprise you by not destroying Earth right away. Let's find out what really happens if we replace the sun with the most dangerous objects in the universe. We tend to think space kills you slowly, but in reality it can end everything in seconds. And when it comes to stars, the difference between life and extinction is razor thin. Because some of them don't just kill the planet, they erase it. And this is only the beginning. It gets far worse from here. The sun isn't just a light source. It controls temperature, gravity, climate, and life itself. Change it, and everything unravels. Let's start with something terrifying, but inevitable. A red giant is the future of our sun billions of years from now. It forms when a star runs out of hydrogen and expands to an enormous size. If a red giant replaced the sun today, Earth wouldn't burn first, it would be swallowed. The star would expand hundreds of times larger than the sun, engulfing Mercury, Venus, and Earth completely. The sky would turn blinding orange. Oceans would boil away. The planet's crust would melt. Mercury would vanish first, then Venus. Earth would be next. Oceans would boil away. The atmosphere would be stripped. There would be no warning, no escape. The planet wouldn't die slowly. It would disappear. But the next star doesn't kill Earth so quickly. Now let's go smaller. A red dwarf is the most common type of star in the universe. It's cooler, dimmer, and far less massive than our sun. If one replaced the sun, Earth wouldn't burn. Instead, it would freeze. Within weeks, temperatures would fall below freezing. Within years, oceans would turn to ice. Plants would die first, followed by animals and the entire food chain. Eventually, Earth would become a frozen, silent world, possibly drifting out of orbit entirely. Cities would go silent as heating systems fail and power grids collapse under endless cold. Within months, abandoned skyscrapers would freeze solid, steel snapping like glass. Underground shelters might delay extinction, but without sunlight, food production would end forever. Earth wouldn't explode or burn. It would simply drift, frozen and forgotten. Earth wouldn't explode. It would slowly freeze to death. And this isn't even close to the most violent replacement for our sun. Blue stars may look calm, but they are monsters. They emit hundreds to thousands of times more energy than our sun. These stars burn hotter, faster, and far more violently. Their light isn't just brighter, it's lethal. A blue star floods space with ultraviolet and gamma radiation strong enough to strip atmospheres from nearby planets. If Earth orbited one, radiation levels would spike instantly. Skin would burn in seconds. Water would evaporate. Rocks would melt. Within days, Earth would be completely uninhabitable. Even deep underground, life wouldn't be safe. Radiation would penetrate the surface, poisoning the planet from the inside. Within days, Earth wouldn't be dead. It would be erased as a place where life could ever exist. Blue stars don't just shine brighter than our sun. They flood space with lethal ultraviolet radiation that would penetrate the atmosphere and strip away life's most basic protections. Even standing in the shade wouldn't help, because the radiation wouldn't come from one direction. It would scatter through the sky, bouncing off clouds, dust, and the air itself. Within weeks, Earth wouldn't just be hot, it would be chemically hostile, with oceans evaporating, soils sterilized, and ecosystems collapsing from the ground up. And somehow, this still isn't the most dangerous thing we can replace the sun with. Neutron stars are born from supernova explosions, the most violent events in the universe. In just 1 second, a star releases nearly all of its energy, briefly outshining entire galaxies. If our sun were replaced by a neutron star, daylight would vanish. The sky would turn permanently black. There'd be no photosynthesis, no heat, only radiation. The planet would freeze while being slowly poisoned at the same time. Earth would freeze from the darkness while lethal radiation slowly destroyed everything left alive. Satellites would be the first to fail, disappearing silently from orbit. GPS, communication, and power grids would collapse within hours. Night would feel absolute. No glow, no signals, no movement. And if this feels unbearable, the next object makes it look gentle. Now imagine something worse. Magnetars are neutron stars taken to the extreme, with magnetic fields trillions of times stronger than Earth's. If our sun became a magnetar, visible sunlight would vanish. Earth would be plunged into endless night. But the darkness wouldn't be the real danger. Gamma rays and X-rays would bombard Earth non-stop. Satellites would fail instantly, power grids would collapse, and Earth's magnetic shield would begin to break. Within weeks, Earth wouldn't just be hot. It would be chemically hostile, with oceans evaporating, soils sterilized, and ecosystems collapsing from the ground up. Satellites would fail instantly, power grids would collapse worldwide, and long before the cold sets in, modern civilization would go dark. Even life underground wouldn't be safe, as bursts of gamma radiation would repeatedly bathe the planet, breaking down DNA faster than it could repair itself. Earth wouldn't just die, it would lose everything that ever protected it. Surprisingly, a black hole isn't the worst option. If it had the same mass as the Sun, Earth's orbit would remain perfectly stable. You wouldn't be pulled in, you wouldn't be torn apart. Nothing dramatic would happen at first. But there would be no sunlight, no warmth, no day or night cycle ever again. 8 minutes later, the last sunlight would reach Earth, and then stop forever. Day would never return. Temperatures would begin falling immediately. Oceans would slowly lock into ice. Over years, the oceans would freeze solid. The air would begin to collapse, and the surface would become lifeless. Life wouldn't end violently. It would fade quietly, molecule by molecule. No fire, no explosion, just a silent, endless freeze. After all of this, one thing becomes painfully clear. The sun isn't just a star. It's a fragile balance holding everything together. Change it even slightly, and life on Earth collapses faster than we could ever react. Some replacements would burn us. Others would freeze us. Some wouldn't even let us see what killed us. We live in a universe full of extremes, and somehow we're orbiting the one thing that keeps us alive. And that makes our sun far more rare and far more important than we ever realize.